So the funny thing about leadership, I'm not a natural born leader. I love people, and my co-founder could see that in me, but he also thought that I was telling people too much. Probably telling you guys too much, but that's the point today. When you bootstrap a company, and I don't know if you guys have done it or are going to do it, it's good not to have an end goal. Sometimes it is quite good to fight just fires for a period of time because it shows you who you are. And throughout this period, it was blatantly obvious that I'm not an MD or a CEO type, but my co-founder sort of found it that I was quite resilient, that I was quite happy to take the brunt of all the stress and all the issues that go with developing a product. So as time went on, I guess I matured into a type of leader. The bootstrapping team, for me, is basically finding people to create your support system. So my co-founder was very good. He's a terrible businessman, but he's great at people. The support system that you create for yourself with co-founders like that, for me, creates leadership. So both of us lead together. He's sort of the good cop. Sometimes I'm the bad cop, and you can swap them around quite easily. But really, I guess what I wanted to tell you guys today was talk about honesty in leadership. So if you guys ever are in a team, or if you're working together in a bigger company, it's exactly the same principle. Don't mistake honesty for releasing your guilt. So throughout business, you do some things that you aren't proud of. Everybody does it day to day, I guess, sometimes. I learned telling people something to shed my guilt was probably the worst idea I could ever do as a leader, because your team aren't paid much. They're there because the product is great and they feel like you have something different. And when you shed too much of your guilt onto other people, it burdens them in a way that you can't imagine. Most of the time, it just kills morale. So your team starts to think that you're going to tell them everything at any point, and they have no control over their own sort of bubble. I want to try and say this without making it sound like I was being like a slave driver. You have to so you know the whole guilt thing that I spoke about earlier? This is like proof that it's completely man-made. You have to make them feel accountable for something. So you play a horrible game with people that you absolutely love, and you make them feel like if they don't finish this, it's their fault for it to fail. And I hate to say that to a room full of people my age, but it's an art that you shouldn't really have to learn. But starting a business with no money, which is 99% of the companies that I talk to have started that way, it's a reality that people will have to face. You have to make people feel like they really have to be there.
Most people now, their definition, particularly in your age group, of success is this feeling of, I'm making a difference. A big one, people always say, I'm making a difference, I'm contributing, I'm feeling engaged. I wake up in the morning and I'm pleased to go to work, you know. There is always the thing of, yes, of course we need money. Otherwise, it's no point having all this if you can't afford to pay your rent. But this is, you know, this is balanced with this. Now, if we went out and did a straw poll of people on the street who were above the age of 50 or something, we'd probably have a big house, a car, and, you know, a kind of lottery lifestyle, you know, where you, if anyone, God forbid, reads the Daily Mail. There's 1 million new books written every year, most of them on self-help. Which is all about become different than you are, become a better leader, become a better entrepreneur, become a better employee, a better parent, a better, you know, and it's like because the you isn't kind of good enough. That's the subtext. I call it the tyranny of self-actualization, which is kind of like, you know, the way everybody has to kind of become better than they are.